Effective backlog grooming ensures that the team has a sufficient number of items that are ready for planning prior to entering the next cycle. Additionally, it's a key opportunity to confirm that you have everyone on the team's input so that you have the most holistic understanding of those outcomes heading into the cycle. In effective backlog grooming, it's important to focus on what's being discussed, when it's being discussed, and who's discussing it. Welcome to Scrum Tips with Barry Hawkins. In this short video, I'll share a few key things to keep in mind to ensure that your backlog grooming is both effective and viewed as a good use of the team's time. Keep backlog grooming to 50 minutes and schedule it a few days before the end of the current sprint. Backlog grooming is a time of high interaction that requires emotional energy and investment from everyone on the team. To that end, once you hit about the 50-minute mark, I've always noticed the energy level and the participation and engagement can drop off sharply. So keep it to just 50 minutes so that you don't fatigue the individual team members in what you're asking them to do. Providing a positive and meaningful experience for team members ensures that they've got a better chance at having a positive perspective coming into subsequent backlog groomings. Scheduling backlog grooming a few days before the end of the current cycle provides valuable runway to ensure that you're able to set the team up for success. In this example, you see a typical 10 business day, 2-week sprint for a Scrum team, and note that backlog grooming is scheduled on the third to last day of the cycle. That way, if the team enters backlog grooming and discovers that some number of the outcomes don't have enough clarity, haven't had enough discussion to be pulled into the next sprint and acted on, well, we now have 3 days to see what we can figure out and whether or not we can get them into a good state prior to the start of the upcoming planning event. Focus on the top of the queue. Backlog grooming is meant to be a time where you're looking at the top 2 sprints worth of velocity in the queue and asking yourselves, are these outcomes ready for planning? Do we have clarity on what the outcome is, who it's for, and why it matters? Do we have an idea of how we're going to approach the outcome? Do we have agreement on the level of effort or story point size that we've assigned to this outcome? We want all of these things clarified in addition to the acceptance criteria prior to entering sprint planning so that it's a discussion of how we go about approaching the outcome, the tasking, how long we think those tasks are going to take. Not attempting to figure those things out from scratch in the middle of what's supposed to be more purely a planning activity. Additionally, do we have backlog maintenance sessions scheduled so that there's set aside focus time to talk about things farther off, sprinkled throughout our sprint, so that backlog grooming can again be that focus on ensuring that we have what we need for a successful sprint planning heading into the next cycle. Watch for missing input. As you're conducting the backlog grooming session, read the room and keep an eye on all the team members to see if everyone is contributing. You may sometimes find that a given individual is not providing input, and it could be for a number of reasons. They may be having an off day, they may not agree with the direction that the team's decided on, and that may be a thing that we need to surface and work through prior to heading into the next sprint planning so that it's not a point of contention that's just allowed to linger and fester. Similarly, keep an eye on whether a given functional discipline is being underrepresented in the backlog grooming discussion. I'll sometimes see this happen with QA team members or UX team members where if there's a design or engineering are the majority of the people that make up the team, they can sort of drive the conversation forward without pausing or soliciting sufficient input from the other disciplines. So as you're having the discussions, make sure that it's a holistic, well-rounded discussion with input from every part of your team. Thanks for watching this Scrum Tips video. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and click the notifications icon so that you'll be among the first to know when new Scrum Tips and other product development videos are uploaded. Again, thanks for watching. I'm Barry Hawkins, and we'll see you in the next video.